Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the paddle shift mod, the rewiring mod. That way we can get the pull function to be the downshift while retaining the upshift on the right side. So you can do this in two ways. You can eliminate the push function, which if you did the conversion, this would be the upshift and this would remain the downshift, but you can just eliminate that, and then that way, even though you press these, nothing happens. I am not going to do that just because I don't have heat shrink with me right now, so I'm just going to be swapping the two pins, and yeah, I'll show you how to do that right now. First things first, if you're going to disconnect your airbag, go ahead and disconnect your battery. That way you don't run into any issues. Other than that, it should be straightforward. If you do want to remove the trim, I've seen some people leave the airbag and remove the trim piece. It's just held on by 3 T30 bits, and one is found on this side, and then on the bottom here. You should be able to just remove this plastic piece with the buttons. It should just come off, and then you can just try to remove the connector there. I find it easier just to remove the airbag, and then that's what we're going to do. To remove the airbag, we're going to be using a flathead screwdriver. You don't want it to be in this position, just because there's like a little leg, like a little spring leg that comes down this way as in like an L shape, and you could miss it. So it's better to just keep it flat. That way you're covering more area. And you just want to stick it straight in, and then at the same time pull the airbag, and you'll just feel it pop out. So you just want to feel the right here. So once it's in like that, remember you want to keep it in that position I showed you. Just press it in and it just pops out. Same thing on the other side. You just want to feel for that spring, and then it just pops out like that. So there are these two connectors in the airbag with your same flathead. You want to stick it right here, and then you just want to like pry one side and then the other. There you go. So I'm doing like this action here. And then you just want to pull straight up, and then you can move that out of your way. Some of you may struggle to remove the connectors, just because if you haven't done this before, or if you haven't even messed around with the connectors before, they're going to be stuck on there. I had to wrestle it out the first time I did it, and it was a pain. What I used is these needle nose pliers, and I just grabbed onto the connector and then tried to pull. It was sketchy. I tried to pull it out, and then I thought I broke something, but I didn't. I tried to do it on this side. I couldn't do it. So what I did is I removed the trim piece here. They're held on by 3 T30 bits, and the plastic piece just comes off up here and up here. You just want to slightly push them down and pull towards you. You won't break anything. It's not that fragile. You shouldn't worry about it. And then you should be able to just pull those connectors off. You will fight it a little bit, but it won't be that difficult. I recommend you pulling that off first so you don't struggle. For me, since I've removed them, they're fairly easy to pull off with your hands now, so you can just I can just pull it off like that, and there you go. Those are your two connectors. I could eliminate this function here, but I don't have heat shrink with me, and I don't really want to use electrical tape. So we're just gonna leave that alone. I just removed it just to show you guys what it looks like. It's the same thing on the left side. This is the guy that we're gonna be messing with. We're gonna swap the two outer pins. The middle pin is ground. You don't want to touch that at all. Just leave it in there. We're gonna be swapping 1 and 3, which are the outer ones. That way, instead of this being upshift and this downshift, we'll have pushing towards you is gonna be the downshift, and then pushing away from you is gonna be the upshift. Let's get a better view of this connector. Alright, so now that you have your connector disconnected, there's going to be this little L bracket thing. You're going to want to pop that off in order to release the pins. Well, it allows the pins to be removed. So I'm gonna be using this little tiny flathead that I just found. So let's do that. I'm gonna do one side first, and as you can see, mine just popped off. It just popped off, but it can go back on. So once you lift it up, you can, if it breaks off, don't worry about it, it just snaps back on. So you should be alright. So these are labeled 1, 2, and 3. You want to remove pin 1 and pin 3 and just swap them over. So that means that 1 will become 3 and then 3 will become 1. Just like that. And all you got to do is little tabs on the little pins. Something as small as this. You just want to press down. Let me try to show you. You want to press inwards and then towards you a little bit. Like that. If you see that it doesn't come off completely, as you can see, it's no longer in here. But if you look back, there's this guy right here. So you just want to do the same process and just press it down and then out. And it comes off just like that. So you want to set this aside so you don't get confused. Just put it somewhere, anywhere really. And like I said, pin 2, you just want to leave that. That's ground, don't touch that at all. Just remove pin 3 now. You see it gets stuck in the second position? Just do it again. And it comes off like that. So now, since we took this guy out of pin 3, or position 3, we're going to place it into 1. And it just snaps in. That's the good thing about these connectors. They just slide in and they just stay in. And then the previous one that we took out, that goes back into being 3. And just like that, you've successfully rewired the paddle shift to where pulling towards you is going to be downshift and pushing away from you is going to be upshift. Like I said, you can eliminate this one just by, I think it's pin 3 or 1. You're going to have to check on the forums or something. And you just wrap it in something and just tuck it away. Yeah. And then you just put this guy back in. And just like that, you're ready to go. Okay guys, so once you have everything back installed, your connectors, your airbag, if you remove the trim piece and you have that put back together, go ahead and connect your battery again and start your car. And then I went ahead and shifted to D. I do have my e-brake on and I do have my foot on the brake pedal. So please, safety first, and make sure you don't. You can take it for a spin. I'd much rather do that, but my brother is parked right behind me, so I can't take this car out. But yeah, e-brake on, foot on the pedal, on D. So let's try to zoom in here, and please excuse my empty brake. We're gonna forget that. Okay, so as you can see, when I press the upshift, it's going up, right? And then when I press down, it shifts to 1. When you're stationary, it's gonna do that. No matter where you're at, it goes back to 1. That's downshifting. So that means that this should be upshift. And you can see it goes up, and I press towards me, and it goes back down. Let's try to get that. There we go. There, that's a better view. As you can see, we've successfully rewired the paddle shifts. So, and it's really fun to drive this car this way, especially on the interstates or you know, taking turns and stuff. It's really fun. So I really suggest you do this if you have the paddle shifts. If you don't have the paddle shifts installed, you can easily find one of these at a junkyard or maybe eBay for a reasonably good price and do the conversion yourselves. For that, you will need another wiring harness kit that you install here, and you have to run through. It's a pretty it's not that difficult, but it is somewhat tedious. So, but it's fun. That's exactly what I did to this car. Actually, this one didn't come stock with paddle shifts. I did the retrofit, and yeah, and that's how you do the paddle shift conversion, rewiring, whatever you want to call it. And hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.